This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Nebraska Volleyball just wrapped up another match. Join former Husker Mandy Monson as she breaks down the game from the hard swings and perfect sets to the diving digs and precision passing. 93.7 The Ticket's post-game coverage of Nebraska Volleyball starts now.
Welcome in to 93.7 The Ticket here in Lincoln, Nebraska. We are in the middle of Husker football, but Husker volleyball. Another big win tonight. Another 3-0 sweep in East Lansing against the Michigan State Spartans. It was a Husker volleyball match. I mean, the way you watch it, you just recognize this is Husker volleyball. This is what you expect. Mandy, take it away. What'd you see?
You know, as we were right before we were coming on air, I was like, how long did the match take tonight? And what's crazy is it only took an hour and 23 minutes. Yep. So the Huskers played really well tonight. I watched it on, what is that, Big Ten Plus, and they played really strong. I mean, there were some times where, I think they'll probably go back after the match tonight and talk about, I think, some passing and then, some blocking mechanics. And Danny even said that on her post-game show. But I think when I saw, the times that we allowed them to make some runs, it was, maybe a little bit of serve receive, although it wasn't bad. I mean, it's like we're at the point where it's like I even thought when I was watching the match tonight, I'm like, okay, I really need to focus in on what can I find that we can improve on. And we're playing at a very high level. Harper Murray played excellent tonight. She had another phenomenal match. She had 13 kills. She hit 500. She had no errors. She actually hasn't erred in the past two matches now. The last time she erred on an attack was the match against Washington. And, what I wrote down for notes specifically in regards to Harper and watching her tonight is she just is playing very controlled and very mature. Like I was even thinking back about just historically, she's always been a very powerful attacker, a very powerful hitter. But I think what she's doing this season, and she just continues to get better at, is being really mindful and aware of, one, the ball that's getting set to her, two, where she's at, and then three, what's the opponent doing from a defensive standpoint. And so she just did such a great job tonight of, terminating the ball aggressively on a very hard hit attack, whether it was from the front row or behind the 10-foot line, but then, being able to read the defense and doing a shot, which, she has a great roll shot. She has a really great, powerful, throw to the middle. It's like a dunk. You could not do that back in the day. You would get called for a carry.
Yeah.
When I was playing, it's awesome that they can do that now. But she played just so, and I wrote this down. I said, she's just playing so, mature. And I watched the post game of the network interviewing her, and she mentioned that they said, "Oh, what's different about you this year, and what's what do you attribute your you're playing so great? You were just named the Big Ten player for the previous week," and she even said that. She said, "I'm just I'm old. I'm a junior, and I'm just getting I have more court awareness and." I'm just more mature and controlled in my play. And so I think it's just been really fun to watch her do that all season. And, last week was the first time she's been named Big Ten player. And, you know, is it surprising that it's taken that long? I mean, I don't really know if it's surprising or not surprising, but I think what she's done throughout season is she's just been that consistent, steady base player. And then these last 2, 3 matches, I mean, she's really just been very explosive and very dominant when she has had the ball dispersed to her.
Yeah, I think with a lot of these girls, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like all of them are they've matured, they've played with each other for quite a few years now,
Yep.
and it seems like you put it perfectly, it's just how they, have they understand the game better, but it
Yeah.
also just seems like it's a confidence thing where they've put in so much work and then they've just they understand the college volleyball game so much more now that it's almost just easy for them just to go out there and perform.
Yeah. Well, so in the third set, Michigan scored 20 points. And Michigan's like it was at point 19, and they were on a little run. And so like they're super excited. They're like, "Oh my god, like we're getting to 20 against Nebraska." And it's like that. It's like that differential as far as where a team is at and then where the other team is at. And Nebraska just what's really great to see is that even when a team is going on a run like Michigan State had some runs tonight, I think what Nebraska is just doing an exceptional job at this year is they just do not let themselves get shook up.
Mhm.
They just really go back to what they call it, playing Nebraska volleyball, which is, you know, such a collective effort. I mean, when you look at the stats and you look at hitting percentage, Harper Murray hit 500, Taylor Landfair hit 500, Rebecca Alec hit 400, Andy Jackson hit 571. Um, Virginia Adriano hit 268, which this is what's just wild is right. Virginia only hits 268 or 286. I'm sorry. That's not terrible for a pin hitter.
Yeah.
But when you're watching the match and you're seeing what everybody, you feel like, oh, Virginia is just, she's kind of having an off match. Not, I mean, should not maybe not on fire, but it's really not that off. But it's just just that entire team and what the level that they're playing at. Tiara Sigler hit 250 from the back row. So, I just think, like you said, we have an exceptional offense in that there's so much parity and there's so much opportunity and options for our setters, for Bergen and Campbell to, really disperse the ball with so many options that it just, it makes Nebraska, when you observe them, it looks effortless. It helps that Lainey and Olivia do such a great job passing. Harper did a great job passing tonight too. And so, yeah, they're just they like continued to build on, what they've already been doing and capitalizing. It was their 8th sweep in a row as far as 3 sets. Um, they're now like, okay, if Nebraska gets to, 20 points first to the red zone, it's like 48 sets in a row.
Yeah.
Right. So, they're just continuing to improve. And it'll be a great opportunity for them to go to Michigan. Like I said, they'll go back and look at tape and scout and, probably clean some things up on the block. I mean, Michigan, the thing is like Michigan State did not look, watching them, they did not look like a weak team tonight. They did some things pretty well. I mean, they had 3 attackers that hit over 300, which is actually pretty good against Nebraska. Their hitting percentage, was 214. So Michigan State actually comparatively to other teams that have played us, they didn't play too bad. But again, I just think they got 3 players hitting it over 300 and we have 3 players hitting over 500.
Yeah.
Like that's a 200, right? That's it just, it makes a difference. And so, again, just going back to, I think that's why, there's a combination of also, maturity. Because when we're talking about those players that hit over, 500, that's, Harper, Andy, Taylor Landfair, and then Rebecca Alec hit over, 400. So those are all seniors, senior classmen, juniors and seniors. And I also wanted to write a note about this because when I got done with my show, the last time we were on, I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to talk about Taylor Landfair. She's really playing well. Like, we've been talking about Harper, and Harper's playing amazing. But if you look at the last 2 matches for Taylor Landfair, I think she's also playing very strong on the left side. She, from attack, offensive standpoint, and then also from a blocking standpoint. So I feel like to be able to have those other left side players beyond, Harper also continuing to play strong, it's just very exciting for when we go into those more competitive matches to see, how we can, withstand and withhold and, continue to basically stay on the same trajectory and be able to hold these same hitting percentages even when we go and play a more competitive team.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. We talked about this after the Washington match, but when you have so many girls that are at such a high caliber when it comes to college volleyball,
Yeah.
you almost forget about some of these other girls on the team. Like Taylor Landfair, for one,
Yes.
she had 8 kills tonight.
Yeah.
And so you see that and you're like, well, Harper also played really well, and Andy played really well,
Yes.
and Rebecca played really well.
Yes.
And you just think, what can an opposing team do to stop this?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. And by the way, Taylor Landfair, when she was at Minnesota, was the Big Ten player in 2022.
Mhm.
So, you are so exactly correct. And your cohort, your colleague on the last show is like, okay, tell me who played the best this match, or who's your fan. I'm like, I just can't even, I hate that question
Mhm.
because I honestly can't really ever pick one. Yeah. It's very tough. Now, it was easier to say Harper in the last match, but yeah, you're exactly correct. But that's what's so fun about this team, and what also just makes it so difficult for opposing teams to defend us, because if we get a good pass, we have at least 4 options, maybe 5, depending on who's in the back row.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's kind of nuts. And everybody, if you didn't see the match, just want to let you know, in the third set, we did the double sub.
Okay.
So, I think, Dan, will we ever start that way? I have no idea. But we did do a double sub in the third where Campbell came in and sat in the back row. And then Allie Check was, on the right side. And then Bergen and Virginia were together in their 3 rotations. So, I think then it's like, then you put that into play. So then it's like, okay, so you're telling me every 6 rotations now we have 3 front row hitters and maybe 2 back row hitters. So, and Andy Jackson, she got 3 service aces tonight. She served the ball really well. That's the other, we served really well tonight. Like, I feel like tonight was maybe one of our stronger serving matches. Like, that's the other thing too, right? We can continue to keep pressure on the opposing teams and not allow them to be in system, on a side out. That also helps us from a, scoring capability and just from an efficiency standpoint. So, Andy had 3 service aces. Sigler had 3 service aces. Harper had 1. Olivia had 1. So, from the serving lane tonight, we were also really strong, which is great to see.
Yeah, it's unbelievable how good this team is in all facets. There's not one spot that if you stop Harper Murray, you're good. If you stop Andy Jackson, you're good. It's just not the case. We got to go to break, though. Husker volleyball with another Big Ten win in East Lansing against the Michigan State Spartans. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com. Boxing is back this Saturday with Brawloween at the Complex. The Midwest's best professional boxers will display their best performances with hometown favorites Clyde Godzilla Johnson and Cody Kerr among the boxers. Get your tickets at thecomplexlincoln.com where you can live stream this event as well. Nebraska football plays on Friday, so Saturday is open for you to attend or watch. Doors open at 6 p.m. with first bout at 7 p.m. this Saturday, October 18th. It's Brawloween at the Complex, located at 1555 Yolanda Avenue.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Harvest season is here, and Acres has discounted many of our late model John Deere combines. Get thousands in discounts and upgrade now. Plus, you could save even more with interest rates starting as low as 1.9% on select units. Low interest rates combined with our huge discounts, there's not a better time to buy. Visit acres.com for all the details. That's akrs.com. Restrictions apply. Offer ends September 30th, 2025. Subject to approved financing. Offer may change at any time without notice.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to Nebraska Volleyball Postgame on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, former Nebraska outside hitter, Mandy Monson.
Welcome back to the Husker Volleyball Postgame Show. Husker Volleyball with another dominant win against Michigan State. Mandy, you wanted to talk a little bit about the coaches in this matchup. Take it away.
Yeah, I thought, by the way, I got my headphones on now, so I got it all set, guys. Yeah, I thought kind of a cool dynamic of this match, everybody, was that, both head coaches, right? Danny Busboom Kelly for Nebraska. She's a former player from Nebraska. It's her first year coaching at Nebraska, right? We all know that story. But the head coach for Michigan State, Kristen Kelsey, she's also a former player of that University of Michigan State. And it's her first year as a head coach. She's done a great job with that program. They weren't even at a 500 winning percentage a year ago. And so for them to be, where they are at this year, playing well, having upset, they upset Indiana last week. And like I said, I thought they actually they did some really nice things today. But I think that's just a really, I think it's a theme that we're seeing, right? More in women's college volleyball, where now you have more former players that are, coming back to coach at their alma maters. And actually, the other stat that I thought was interesting was that the last time that Michigan State beat Nebraska was in 2013, and Kelsey was actually the setter for that team.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah. So I thought it was also really enjoyable to watch those two women coach their teams, and just see that dynamic. I always get the question, how do you think it's different with Coach Danny Busboom Kelly, and what does she do different? What I really enjoy about watching her is just how calm she is. And I think she brings a really confident, and not that John wasn't calm. I'm just saying, when you look at how she interacts with the players, I think she also, the dynamic is just very collective and very supportive, but also, she's such a great leader, And I actually saw that in Kristen Kelsey too. I could see that, she really had a good connection with her players. So I just think that's a really great thing to see for former players, for, these coaches to be able to come back and, perform well for their universities and for the Big Ten. The Big Ten has when you look at the coaches in the Big Ten, it's very strong. And I think that's what makes the Big Ten conference, such a great conference to play in and compete in, because, they're great coaches. And when you see that dynamic of really great former players coming back and coaching, I think that's really exciting.
Yeah. One thing, I think John Cook was the same way too, where he seemed very kind of just calm, cool, collected on the sidelines, had the assistants kind of take over if there were any just kind of little tips or, tweaks that needed to be made. But I think it just goes to show with Danny is just how much confidence she has in these girls, because they put all in the work in practice.
Yeah.
And then it almost just seems like she's like, I have all the confidence in the world for them to just go out and compete and perform.
Yeah. I think it's a different energy though. To be really candid, Coach Cook is amazing, but Danny has a different energy. They're not the same, I think, from an energetic standpoint, as far as what that looks like from coaching from and neither's, worse or better or whatever. I think it's just different. But I think that team needed something, honestly, really. I think it needed, sometimes you do need a change, even if the person that is exiting is amazing and awesome. And I think the timing was right. And I think Danny, she just has, I've been really doing a lot of studying on nervous systems, by the way, everybody. I just think she's just so internally just calm, and internally doesn't get shaken, doesn't get overly irritated at stuff. Although it was kind of funny on her post-game show, she said she kind of got she got a little miffed when she'd pulled a green card because there definitely was a play where it got called as it was a touch, or what was it? Michigan State was blocking. They were
Okay.
clearly in the net, by the way.
Mhm.
But anyway, they were looking and reviewing that play, and she got a little irritated with the refs. But like you would know it from from observing. And I would say when her team, although her team this year hasn't from a playing standpoint, I wouldn't say that they've really been in a mode where they've been struggling, but she just doesn't, she doesn't slam her clipboard. She doesn't pop her clipboard. She's just very regulated, and I think consistent from that standpoint. And I think that really helps that team be able to not get shook up about stuff, even when an opposing team maybe goes on a run, even when they have a great play. And right, they're super excited because they had a great play and scored points. And we're really just going on to the next play and getting back to business, which is playing Nebraska volleyball.
Yeah, the composure that Nebraska has, I think is one of the coolest things to watch when they're playing, because like you said, a team can go on a run, even if it's, 3-4 points in a row.
Mhm.
And you look at Nebraska and it's just like, man, we'll be fine. And then even when Nebraska's going on runs, you can kind of see the other team is like getting a little anxious. They're like, oh gosh, what do we do? And they start to panic. And then when you have Coach Busboom Kelly just, all relaxed as well,
Yes.
even when things are not going the Huskers' way, it kind of just seems like it reflects on the team very well how just composed they continue to stay.
Yeah, and you actually make a very good point, which it's not just about the composure when you make a mistake. There's also value in composure when you're executing. Meaning, I see this in high school a lot. I don't understand. I'm going to say this right now. I don't get it. I don't like it. Is when a player has a great play and their teammates go and like chest bump them or like almost mow them over. I'm like, what? Like, really? The Huskers do not do that. I mean, yeah, they get excited on a good play, and they absolutely do. I'm not saying they don't, but they don't. They don't overexert themselves. They hold their composure even when they're playing well. And I think, to me, that's a confidence play. Like that's just you're at the level where, okay, we've worked on this. We expect to execute it, and we're not overly surprised when we do execute it because that's what we're doing. Now, do they celebrate? Do they play joyfully? Absolutely. I've said that, throughout this year, but I think they also know how to energetically reserve and have their reserve so that they basically don't expend too much energy, even when they're, doing what they need to do and taking care of business.
Yeah. I mean, there was only one lead change in this match where Michigan State went up, and then outside of that, 4 ties, and then Nebraska was just in control the entire match. What do you think is Nebraska's mindset going into these Big Ten matches that mean a lot, but it seems like they never get too high? Like I think some teams probably when Nebraska comes to town, they all get amped up. Even when Nebraska is playing some of these bigger opponents in the Big Ten, it just seems like they're calm, cool, collected. They just handle business. What do you think that mindset's like?
No, I mean, I'd like to tap into it, man. I don't, I would like to say I have that all the time.
We all wish we did.
I
Yeah.
know. I think it goes back to their training. I do. I think because they train at such a high level, because they basically have, 2 All-American teams, because they do. I think because they're training against each other, and if whatever, I don't want to call a second team, but who's ever not, on the, one team, who's ever the other team is, just as phenomenal and talented. And so when you're training at that level every day, I just think by the way, that goes back to your nervous system too. If that's the level that you're training at, if that's the level that you're doing reps at, if that's the level you're passing the ball, setting, attacking, and it doesn't matter what side you're on, then you're getting that same level of rep,
Yeah.
And so then when you put that in a gameplay, in a match component, I think that's where we're just not surprised by things, right? We're not overly surprised when something doesn't work out. We're not overly surprised and, oh my God, this is amazing, we did that, when it does work out.
Yeah, I would think.
That's what I think.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I think you said that perfectly. When you're going even in practice and you're facing, the second team to say, but they're still some of the best volleyball players in the country.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe in some other programs, I could be totally wrong, but you can maybe get away with a few mishaps in practice and still get a point, or still save a ball somehow. But when you're at Nebraska and you're in practice, all the little mistakes, like, they're going to get noticed because you are competing against the best volleyball players in the country in practice.
Yeah.
And so when you get into the match, it's almost easy to say.
Yeah. Well, I think I love what you just said. There's nothing that's given in practice, you guys. Like, I've just it's kind of like I mean, just think about if your practices were harder than your matches. So I think that's why it looks, so effortless, and they play so effortlessly when, they're in a match. It doesn't, because like I said, I thought Michigan State played, pretty well. By the way, the setter for Michigan State's from Lincoln, Nebraska. That was kind of cool to see.
Yeah, that is
So
super cool.
she was at Southwest, and Malia Long, who was the setter for Michigan State. I thought she did a great job. She had 27 assists. So she's a sophomore. She was at Marquette last year, and then she transferred to Michigan State. I was like, oh, I saw her in the court. I was like, oh my gosh, I totally recognize her. So that was kind of cool. But, the difference is like, you watch Michigan State, like, they're getting a great play, and they're like, oh. Nebraska's like, I have to talk about this play. So there was a play, Andy Jackson went up for a block, and I'm not kidding you guys. She hung in the air so long that she came down and she hooked the net with her finger. And of course, then we got called for it. But you're talking to me, it's just like, okay, she's hanging in the air so long that her brain kind of disconnects as she's coming down. Does that make sense? And so she, gets the net, whatever. Then they turn around, we side out, and she just absolutely annihilates the ball. It's like Andy Jackson puts her finger in the net. She's like, I can't believe I just did that internally to herself. Because she's very cool, calm, and collected. And then she just rips a ball.
Yeah. I would be absolutely terrified to be on the other side of the net going against Husker volleyball, especially if they continue, we've seen it all season, continue to play like they did tonight against Michigan State. We got to go to our final break, and then we'll wrap up after that with a few minutes of the Husker Volleyball Postgame Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about Certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party Postgame Show on 93.7 The Ticket for each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the players and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party Postgame Show, sponsored by Anderson Ford and Vinny Kreekak of State Farm Insurance.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket every Saturday morning now. In our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Back to Nebraska Volleyball Postgame on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, former Nebraska outside hitter, Mandy Monson.
Welcome back to the Husker Volleyball Postgame Show here on 93.7 The Ticket. Husker Volleyball, another big win against Michigan State. Mandy, take it away.
Yeah, I just we were talking during the break, and we will be at the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor on Sunday. Harper Murray's from Ann Arbor, so I'm sure that'll be fun for her to go back to the hometown and play that match. I think it'll be fun to see how they adjust upward, how they continue to improve. We were just talking about some of the stats, in this match. We had total digs of 30. They had 23. I thought from Harper Murray, I thought played really well from a defensive standpoint as far as, digs go. And Lainey Chovoy was our libero tonight. So it was fun to see her out there, with the libero jersey. She and Olivia, both did really well, as always. But, Harper Murray had 7 digs. Bergen Riley had 7. Lainey had 6. And Olivia had 5. So, Michigan is a good team. I think they were initially, are they still rated? I don't know.
Michigan State?
No, Michigan.
Or Michigan?
As we look forward.
I
don't recall. I believe they were initially when we played them. And they played us, I think, competitively the first set, but then we really kind of dominated them in sets 2 and 3. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens when they go to Ann Arbor. I think for them to continue to just work on their side out passing. We're such a great efficient passing team. I just I think for this team, it's like, how can we take something that's already amazing and make it more amazing? We had a side out percentage of 60% tonight. So, I think that's pretty darn good.
Michigan is not ranked right now, but they
Okay.
are 8-1 at home on the season.
Oh, see, that'll be a right. And I think they always get feisty in Ann Arbor, I mean, it'll be competitive. So, I think for Nebraska to just, it's in, being on the road is not easy, right? You're not sleeping in your own bed. You're, you're having to travel. And so, I think it'll be a good test. I mean, I think this weekend is, a good test for the Huskers to, play some competitive teams and, continue to work on those things that we're already great at. But, how can we get better? I still would like to see Andy Jackson hit more from the back row. I just love her.
Yeah.
And I just think, let's see how many kills Andy could get from the back row. She had a great serving night tonight. So if we could couple that with some, termination for Andy from the back row to complement the termination that happens in the front row, that would be amazing. It'll be interesting to see, I don't know, maybe we'll see some more double sub action, against Michigan. That could be a possibility. That could be fun to, I think, continue to hone in on for the Huskers, because as we, go and play Wisconsin, Minnesota, the West Coast teams, the California teams, right? I think to be able to have 3 attackers in every, in the front row for every rotation, that could be a benefit to us. We're so sizable. I mean, I think our average height is, 6'2". So, and it may be higher than that, but I think it's 6'2". I mean, we're one of the, as far as every position, from a height standpoint. So I don't know. I think maybe that would be fun to see a little bit more of that double sub, to get more efficient at it. So then if you decide you do want to run it against a Wisconsin or a Minnesota or a USC or UCLA, right? It's not foreign, you're more confident in it, because the thing about that I don't love about a double sub process is you just, sometimes it can be difficult to get in a flow of the game, because you always have for sure two people coming in and 2 people, going out every 3 rotations. And then when you have your defensive specialists that are it kind of, I don't know, it
takes away the rhythm a little bit.
It takes away the rhythm and it breaks up the game. But with this team, right, I think it would be interesting to see it for more than just one set or more than just half a set. Like, what if we came out and started that way? If we basically dominate in set 1, okay, maybe we could do the double sub, system in set 2 and 3, and see what that could look like. So I think that's something that I think they could, have some flexibility and play with when they go to Michigan.
100%. Husker volleyball has been unreal so far this year. Mandy, thank you again for doing the post game. The people love you. We got 340 people listening in on stream right now.
Guys, and there's football tonight.
So
yes.
We're heading out. We're going to watch the rest of this Husker football game and root on the Huskers. Keep watching. We'll be back on Sunday, I believe, after the Michigan game. Post-match.
Let's go.
Yes. Husker volleyball post-game show wrapping up now. Tune into the Husker football game. That's Manny Monson. I'm Tristan Gomez. Thanks for tuning in.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Are you looking to upgrade your equipment and keep cash in your pocket? Through October at Landmark Implement, get up to a 24-month waiver on select John Deere tractors and combines, or lock in a 2.9% fixed rate for 36 months, followed by a qualified standard rate for another 36 months. Whether you're thinking of this year's harvest or planning ahead, we've got a solution that works for your bottom line. Visit your